Hey, Cactus crew, how you guys going? I hope everybody is going well. If you're new here, hi, I'm Bill. Welcome to a CB Live. I'm a little bit out of breath. I just need to breathe. There's a few things going on outside, which I hope don't show up in the audio. There's fires going on, so I've got like helicopters going over my house. Fuck them. Welcome, everybody. In this live, I'm just going to be taking a detour from Katie's crap and presenting the real truth here. Because, the carousel from hell come back around. We're going down fucking Catholic upbringing again. And in the description box, I've linked all the videos I've done on this because I feel like this is the only topic Katie has been discussing this year. And she goes over and over and over the same stuff, blaming religion, blaming Catholics. But my theory is she's angry at the wrong party. She's directing her anger when it should be directed at her husband, because her husband was the one who wouldn't date her if she went to church or was religious in any way. He had previously dated women that were religious, and it was, a complete mindfuck. So that was one of his things. So Katie was like, that's fine. Look, I'm not Catholic now. All of a sudden, the desperateness, the need to fit into society, to appear normal. I need a husband more than anything. Look, I'm an atheist now. But really, from reading her articles, and I've read a lot, there's a playlist listed in the description box as well. From reading her article, she's very confused about the Catholic teachings, but she's also, that was the only time she was happy. Like, it gave her structure and like routine that she kind of needed in her life, and she like really bloomed. And it's always been Todd that was, the atheist. And so, yeah, she's bounced from being religious to not being religious and then going back because that's where the money is for all the scammers. Or my own opinion. Katie, don't come at me. These are my own opinions that I have formed with my own brain using my eyes. And my brain is not impaired by anything, illegal substance or even alcohol, decades of substance abuse like Katie has, or just having a narrow mind in general, which Katie has. Unable to see the bigger picture is always going to get you in trouble. And guess what, Katie? I see the big picture and I can show everyone. Okay, so it's okay that you've just got to pee for your brain. Bill's coming in, saving the day. Guys, make sure you check out the description box, all the links, and also replay crew. That's where you'll find the timestamps. What are we doing? We're going to be listening to Katie from 2018 when she was on the Naked Diner podcast. This is with Andrew Hall, who she met through Patheos. He's a comedian, but he also does Laughing in Disbelief and a few other columns. All his info is also linked in the description box. This is episode 117. I prefer 117. I mean, is it Blink 182 or Blink 182? I don't know what I say. I'm confused myself with my numbers. But yeah, August 30, 2018. And she talks a lot, but she doesn't just talk about Todd and his atheism. We get a little bit of the caregiver stuff and all that. So yeah, let's get into it. Everything's my own opinion. Just a little reminder there for anyone that needs a reminder, really. And really just I'm treading water because I can't find the button that gives us the entry to the next part. I was going to explain my singing, but really I can't. It is a full moon and I am fully feeling it. So if I get a little bit, woo, which I'm trying not to, but if I do, it's because this is my moon. I born under a Gemini moon, and it's a Gemini moon, and it's full, and I'm an empath, and it's my drug. It's running through my veins. And when I'm feeling like this, it's time to bring clarity to the amount of bulldang that's going on here. I just cannot believe that we are back here. But you know why we are back here? Because like Katie, I've said this before, but I'll say it again, and I'll say many things again, because it's the carousel from hell, and around we go. So it's the same thing. We just got to deal with it. Oh God, throwing myself off. Please don't already. I really have. Come on, brain. Do not give up on me. We are not even, 5 minutes in? Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is we're going to play it because there's no video. It's just, boring looking at the screen. There's subtitles, but also, I'll just be in the chat, having a chin wag. If you want to come in, have a chat, and then we'll do chat discussion. We'll, break it down. There's a few things that she goes through. So I think 10 minutes in is when she starts talking about Toad. But where are we? And I'm also thinking, oh no, yeah, she would be on her Adderall. Look, my timeline is like, let's bring it up. No timeline, not yet. We don't need you. Okay, what's happening, Bill? Just press the button. Look, here we are. And I've done pre-recorded it so we can, just get what we need. Like I said, everything's linked below. And yeah, we'll just press play and then I'll come back and talk. But yeah, I'll be in chat.
5 years or so, but I don't even write about that, to tell you the truth, Katie, because it's their business and it's not fucking mine. And so, I just stick to the, I'll mention my kids in my act, but it's more like just one-off jokes, some funny slice of life stuff.
There's this whole thing with parent bloggers that it's just kind of, I don't know, it kind of grosses me out, where it's like your kid is your tool, your vehicle, your,
like pageant moms.
Yeah.
Oh, pageant moms, dude.
You're exploiting your kid's life for your own personal gain.
Yeah.
And when my son was an infant and even a toddler, it was easier to talk about him. But now he's 5, almost 6 years old, and he's not, he doesn't need everyone knowing about his health conditions or his developmental issues or anything. So I wanted to write about other stuff, but I still try to include stuff related to the disability community, and almost once a day, because that really is my passion, is advocacy. So I try to include articles to help kind of shape and remold some of the thoughts that people have on disability, which pisses a lot of people off, but I don't care.
Fuck them. But being a good advocate for your child, it is something that parents have to feel comfortable about. And as that role, if you're not, you go through, I go through IEPs. What is it? ISP, whatever it is, that acronym, individual education plans, IEPs, it's at, meetings. And I remember and because I'm divorced and everything, so I have to sit through these things with my ex-wife and everything. But she's great, actually, when it comes down to being on the same page. But we were at one of the meetings and we're like, listen, we're not going to sign your paperwork unless you do the thing that you said you were going to do. But now you're sounding like you're just going to be like, maybe we're not going to do that thing. And it's like, no, the answer is no. And, you're going to do what you said you're going to do. And
So they're just talking about V, obviously, and Andrew also has an autistic son, and he was saying how he doesn't even talk about the struggles that his son goes through or anything, other than, obviously they're talking about the IEP. But he's also a stand-up comedian. He said sometimes he mentions them in his act, but yeah, it's not his story to tell. And Katie, that's what Katie has done and continued to do. Like, she acts like, oh, I've stopped talking about him now and blah, blah, blah. Like, all lies, still talking about him. That's the only interesting thing about Katie, is her son's story, and she's stolen that and made it hers, exaggerated his illnesses, disorders, disabilities to make him appear like he is worse off, because she sees other mums in the special need community as competition. That's fucking sick, you know, that is sick. But that's just, her mind works like that as a narcissist, because it's not about her son. She can steal his story so easily because there's no emotional connection there. But this story, you know, her son, she's got it script, you know, on script. She's got it down. She can tell it whenever.
Okay, we're okay with being obstinate on this particular point because it's our child, you know, and you have to go to the wall. You have to be willing to speak out.
Well, yeah, and you have to be willing to almost like ruffle feathers. And there's just this very pervasive attitude in the parent blogger world, especially in special needs, where, and I've been guilty of it, but I've recognized my guilt, my responsibility in this, and that everyone writes about their child as though it's this immense burden and horrible to have a child that's disabled, and you know, feel sorry for me, you know, and I can't believe I don't have a life, and
fishing for sympathy.
Yeah. I think when I was in that period of grief, those were the things I wrote about. But I've you know, come to, like, he'll be 6 in October, and this is just what it is. And I'm not grieving anymore. This is the kid he's going to be, and I don't want to have him read things that make him think that I didn't value him or that he was a burden. And that's the kind of stuff I talk about. Like, I wrote about special needs proms, which I...
Okay, before she gets into the special need prom, how clear is she in her mind and able to think, and what she's throwing out there with, like, being aware, which I doubt she is. But this is August 30, 2018. And if I look at my little timeline over here, it was the end of 2017 that she got her Adderall prescription. So, you know, just a few months on it, she is working fine. You know, everything is operating fine. And then it just spirals with the overconsumption of alcohol, all the abuse that she must up her dose. She acts like she is struggling with addiction, but yeah, just the amount of bullshit kind of self-awareness she's going to sell here, because it's all words. She doesn't follow through. She's got nothing else but her son's story. How boring is she without it, right?
Absolutely hate.
I don't even know. I don't even think I've ever even heard of that. You want to tell us about what special needs prom is?
Okay, so here's the skinny. First of all, churches put them on, which is like the grossest thing ever, because churches really don't care about people with disabilities. I'm sure that will be really popular opinion, but it's my truth.
I'm not going to argue with you. Go on.
Yeah, it's a lot of like.
But how contradicting that she used her own son with, like, his disorders to get money from the church, because they went back to the church in 2015, I think, when they were struggling after Toad's mum passed away. And then he fell into a really deep depression, and he speaks about it. I have a video called Toad's Stool. I know, great name for the sensitivity of the subject. I mean, he actually does have a heart, though, because he's got that creative side. You know, like, he expresses himself through music, and he does. As shit as his music is, like, at least he's got an outlet and he's got personality. If you look at, like, his room, his background of his little studio, compared to Bile Green Walls and Casting Couch, but also stuck in the 90s, just throw in what is it, the Moon and Sun stuff. What was that? Look, it's time to go back to this. Yeah, My brain's like, really? Yes.
Well, I know I'm talking to people that don't like churches. Well, wait, Jack, maybe the Church of Satanic Temple?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. But that's a whole different level of difference. But so Tim Tebow decided to make this whole thing popular. And I think they were going on before his night to shine started.
Sure.
Some goose egg dude decided that children with disabilities need their own prom.
Yeah.
And to me, it grosses me out. I understand the concept, right? They want to create an experience where kids are with other kids that are like them, and they want to create an experience that maybe isn't it's more sensory friendly, because a lot of children have sensory issues and they can't handle the lights and the noise and all that.
Sure. Yeah, sure enough.
And I think that's fine, but then they they persuade neurotypical kids to go as the special needs child's date.
That's wrong.
Right.
That's just wrong.
Right.
That's I had no idea this was going on. Yeah.
So,
that's just
but they call them an honored guest, right? So the child with a disability is called the honored guest, and then they have a neurotypical child as their, escort.
There's a lot of
she annoys me. She does this with the LGBTQ as well. Rather than explaining and educating, like whoever came up with that idea, like you can see that they're trying, but still their mind is a little bit closed off, that they've kind of missed the mark. You got to educate them, let them know what they've done wrong. Like the first thing that comes to my mind is Atypical, the TV show. Oh my God, I love it. What's the boy's name in it? Oh, yeah, well, I got to dig my brain out of this to think. So let's just stay amongst the bullshit while we're here, because I'll never come back once I'm out. But yeah, their prom, like at the end, his girlfriend, who's my favorite character. God, what's her name? Let's not think. But yeah, the prom that they did, it was just so beautiful. I think they did a silent disco. And and just because he's obsessed with Antarctica, and they just made it like an igloo, and it was so cool. But Katie, rather than educating them and letting them see where they're wrong with this idea, like speaking to whoever's organized it, she just dismisses special needs prom, all of it. I can't even get my words out right. I'm just like, can we hurry up and get to the point? But yeah, it was in slow mode, and that's why it wasn't moving very fast. So, gosh.
Non-neurotypical people who have non-neurotypical girlfriends and boyfriends. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's this assumption that someone who has Down syndrome doesn't have a boyfriend or girlfriend to go to one of these kind of things. I think that's kind of insulting. I think that's insulting.
Right. It's very insulting. And I think, the article I wrote on this really pissed off a lot of moms, because they're just like, my child loves it, and you're just a meanie poopy head, or even that these proms are a bad thing. And I was trying to tell them from a standpoint, and maybe it's the fact that I'm an atheist too, and I just try to think outside the box, and I don't get sucked into mainstream thinking.
Right.
That their support of it is also part of the problem, because they're creating a vehicle for these organizations to use their children as a way to prop themselves up and exploit the kids. And then the kids end up in media, right? So they're on TV, and everyone wants to watch the video and be like, oh, look, the cool disabled kids, they're dancing. Oh, yay!
Yeah.
And it's and then you're making it so that you're basically applauding a child who, first and foremost, the kid is a child. They're not a disability. They're
right.
So then you're basically putting the kid on a pedestal for being disabled. Oh.
Yeah.
Shut up, Paulson. You're the one, my medically fragile child. First off, your child is not medically fragile. They're complex, medically complex, but you want to put them in that more extreme category. And yeah, you're just talking shit. You are absolutely talking shit.
Yeah, you're looking only at the disability, not really the kid. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying to these moms. I'm like, would you like it if a church was going to be like, we're going to have an all gay prom, or we're going to have an all black people prom?
Right. Here's the idea about, a lot of theory, a lot of common sense is that, you want to mainstream your child. You want them to be engaged with mainstream classrooms and not to be treated differently.
In the last 40 years in the United States, to give these kids the opportunity to go to public schools and have the IEPs that you're talking about, accommodations, and if we want to have these, if we want to make the experience inclusive, it needs to not be focused on a disability. I get a thorn in my side for any organization that simply wants to do something for a child because they have a disability. Do something for a child because they're a child and you love them, or they're awesome.
Holy fuck. I want to play this back on a loudspeaker right up against your ear right now. What have you ever done for your child that is out of love for him? For him. I'm fucking taking my fucking time with this video that I've been making for almost 2 weeks. My phone crashed and everything, but hey, Black Friday brought a new phone. But holy hell, Katie, the decisions, you're justifying your decisions that you made to make your life easier. You never, ever have cared what is best for your son, ever. Maybe he wants to go to a special needs prom. And if that's what they're offering, start small. At least he's getting out of the house. At least he's socializing. At least he doesn't have his mum in his ear telling him all the negative stuff. Never, ever speaking positive. Never planting any seeds that he can overcome this. That he can overcome living in that shitty fucking house. You make him believe that there's no escape. This is the end. This is his life. You make him more disabled. The shit you've done has affected your son more than you even realize. And we see it. You share it all. The harm you've caused him far outweighs what, he could have got from a special needs prom if you would let him go.
Awesome, and you want to help them. Don't do it because, oh, Jimmy is lacking a chromosome and he needs a friend, or Stevie doesn't have a working, brainstem, or whatever. Like, it's gross.
Yeah. How are the state services in the state that you live in? Because states vary greatly in terms of the services they provide.
Yes, sorry, that was my little diatribe on disability.
You know what, Katie? One of my skills is to bring out the rage in our guests. I mean, that's one of my things.
Well, I will say that blog got, like I said, it got a lot of pushback, but I think it got people thinking, and that's kind of going back to why I came to Patheos, is I wanted to have, maybe not necessarily saying that my blog following wasn't intellectual, but I feel like the readers at Patheos are a little bit more open to different ideas, and I really wanted to have an opportunity for a vehicle to present ideas that maybe people would reconsider how they do things.
Yeah. And, well, the good thing too is that the people who are naturally attracted to your blog get to interact with the Patheos people, and so you don't have to do all the heavy lifting yourself. There's a lot of people in the comments that will help you out.
Oh, I'm still, by the way, like moderating a fight on my blog, so I have like 800 comments now. Anyway, what was the question?
So, how is your state in terms of services?
Oh, yeah, I'm in the state of Minnesota, and they have amazing services.
Oh, that's great. That's great to hear.
Fictitious out of the side. We are a heavy blue state for the most part, although I live in a very red county. But they have, my son is on a waiver, so he gets nurses. So he has a nurse here that's helping during the day, which has enabled me to expand what I do in blogging and hopefully make more of a career out of this.
Excellent.
I've been doing this sort of part-time, but I really kind of I'm diving way in and just, this is going to be my job. I don't care if I only make $200 a month. I don't care.
Sure.
But so he's got nursing. He has, I get paid to be a caretaker for him as well, which only 5 states in the country allow.
We actually had Dan Arrow on, who lives out in California, and he was mentioning the
only 5 states. Is it only 5 states in America? That's probably changed. This is August 30, 2018. If you've just joined, Katie on the Naked Diner podcast. Andrew Hall is interviewing her. He was also on Patheos. He had a column, I think, Laughing in Disbelief, and probably something else. But all his info and everything is linked below. Wow, 5 states. No wonder it just makes you not want to move then, Like, who was it that does anyone watch Jessie Smiles? She has an autistic son, and I think, they were they rented in wherever they were, Georgia or whatever. and yeah, just decided to buy a house and everything there because of the services that they get for their son. But like, you know, it's really good. Like other states are letdowns, and that's kind of sad. But yeah, Katie, let's listen more about Katie getting paid to look after her son, but really just sitting in her room, expanding her blog and telling her son, Mummy's busy. I'll link that video down below. It's so heartbreaking. She's such a bullshitter.
California does something like that that the state pays, you know, parents to basically help their, you know, no, it's a great system.
It is. And our state kind of sees it as, well, the parent, someone has to take care of the kid, right? They can't, a lot of our kids, the private facilities like daycares can't support our children, and some of our kids get kicked out of programs.
Oh, yeah. And there are a few medically intensive kind of day programs, but they are far and few between. And because there's so few, there's a waiting list typically to get in.
And there's nothing here for that at all. They don't have any. Our biggest challenge wasn't my son having autism. It was that his medical needs were so expensive, and so we just couldn't send him to daycare. And so I ended up having to quit my job. And in 2016, and then we just started using. I mean, we've been using the services before then, but then we just sort of went back and started using them. So we do that, and then he's got his nurses that he loves, and I'm really grateful that we have good programs here. And California is another that has really good programs. But I mean, there's states that have nothing. And I feel so bad for the parents that are in like Texas, Iowa. A lot of the southern states, Florida, they don't have anything, nothing.
No, I tell my kids, my kids are 16 and 13, they're getting older, and it's like, look, you can move wherever you want to, but they're just some shitty states. They're just states that if you're in trouble, they will kick you to the curb.
Yeah, but they'll execute you though.
That's right.
Florida and Texas will kill you for murdering someone, but they won't kill you.
No, but
and that's even more scary. Like if there's no services for disabilities, but then like these states have the death penalty. Like we don't have that, which is so weird. I always kind of forget that America has it, even though I've spoken about it at the dinner table many times. Oh my gosh. Katie, we're coming back. My mind is just running, like more pieces are coming together.
they're not helping no one.
So thankfully we have really good services in Minnesota.
That's great. So Katie, we're just about at an hour mark, and what we'd like to do, Jack and I, we'd like to end or head towards the end by asking our guests if there is a question that you wanted us to ask you that we didn't ask you. Now, this isn't about plugs or anything like that, about where people can find you online.
Before we get to that, I just wanted to get this comment from Sally. She says, parents shouldn't be paid to take care of their own children. My great niece has an autistic son and supports him herself along with her husband. He does get good therapy in an 8-hour day schooling. Yeah, well, I think that parents should be able to be caregivers, but only, not those that are going to exploit the system. I believe that Katie's overused, like she has an allocation of certain hours that she can get for free from the government for nursing, and I just feel like he doesn't need like they're keeping him in the house. The therapy and stuff is stuff that she could do if she gave her child the fucking time of day. She doesn't. Most of his stuff that happened in the first 5 years was due to neglect. Her and Todd neglected him. The psychological effects of that, the way that his brain developed. How do I know? Oh, I know. Well, no, I studied the development of children's minds back in another chapter of my life. And then I fell in love with behavioral science, and that's why I love body language, which helps because I just tune out and read Katie's body language. I don't even have to hear her voice anymore, thank God, because I've got to that point now. Guys, once you get to that point, how good is it? I feel like we are now at that point. Well, I'm finally at that point. It took me a while. It's a bit of a head mark. It's especially with all this Catholic stuff. People were trying to tell her that it's your family that is dysfunctional. It's your family that is, you know, making this a bigger situation. She's trying to make it relate to religion so that she can relate to the people that she covers that have religious trauma. And it's like, no, no, no. Stop. I've never seen someone want to be a victim so much. Like, what the fuck?
But there was a topic you wanted to talk about, but we just didn't get to it.
Oh, I don't know. Did you have a question you didn't ask me?
No, I think we covered a lot. We covered a lot in an hour.
The only thing that I think we didn't talk about with my blog, like the meaning kind of behind it.
Oh, the meaning behind like the title for it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Without a crystal ball.
Okay, this is for everyone that wanted to know, what does Without a Crystal Ball, the name, mean? Well, here we go. She's going to explain it, and it's going to confuse you even further.
So what does Without a Crystal Ball mean?
So I have this whole kind of sort of philosophy. I'm going to go start a cult actually about it.
Excellent.
Write courses, charge admission, that kind of thing?
Yeah. And brackets and everything. But Without a Crystal Ball is when you're raising a child that has disabilities, you'll be in a room with a doctor and they'll be like, well, I don't have a crystal ball, right? What's your kid going to do? I'm not sure where you're going to go and what it's going to be. And it kind of started with this notion that, you know, there's absolutely no predictions in life. You have no idea what's going to happen. You don't know where life is going to go. And so when you live in a space where you don't have a crystal ball, it requires you to be brave, to be fearless, to advocate, to ask questions, to kind of push through all of that so that you can kind of get through the messiness that life is and kind of get to the other side and get through that adversity. And so, you know, now that I'm at Patheos, where the Without a Crystal Ball kind of encompassed, you know, disability, now my focus is more at looking at sort of, I guess, life's underdogs, the people that are in the world that are being exploited, are being hurt, are being taken advantage of, and sort of, you know, I talk a lot of my blogs, they might seem kind of here or there, or this topic is this and this topic is that, but the underlying theme in all of it is that there's a woman or a child that's in that story that's been hurt, or there's somebody that has, you know, some sort of adversity or mental health issue or something that needs to be spoken about. So that's why I spend a lot of time talking about some of these crazy cults, because it's always the women and the children that end up getting hurt.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've been on this multi-level marketing diatribe because women are manipulated and exploited and taken advantage of in these scams. And so I have always kind of been that person where it's like, I'm the champion for the underdog. And I want people to kind of see what others are doing to hurt people and how they can not.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It does. That's a very admirable cause, definitely. Speaking out for those who have been victimized.
Yes, and I am a rape survivor, so.
How casually she just says that, inserts it out of the blue. Who does that? I can't even say the word. I can't even type the word. She uses the audience that she gets through covering these stories. They're like mums of special needs kids, mums of autistic kids, mums with disabled children, you know, and they are the audience that practice faith, that rely on faith, that need hope. And that's the people that are following Katie. And she's lost a lot of followers from her Catholic rants in the past. And it's for this exact reason that she's able to easily manipulate them and feed them lies and stuff and use her son to like get her way. Oh my God. And I'm a rape survivor. Like, what the fuck? Just insert that so casually. No choking, no, I mean that as in like, no disruption in like the way she said it. She didn't like stop to breathe. It was just so blatant. I believe that she is the abuser, trying desperately to fit into like that sheep's clothing so that she can hide the wolf that she is and fit in with society and do more damage to victims, because she uses the mum of a special needs child. No one would ever question that they could be evil. You know, she uses that. Her child is always her shield.
I also will look for other stories of, you know, rapes. And then just because we're on Patheos and it's the non-religious sector and I want to piss off the people that are on the religious side, I just find pastors that are raping kids because that bothers them. So.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm so sorry that I didn't even put a trigger warning or anything on that. But she just said that she chooses stories where pastors, I know I have an issue saying it. Is it pastor or pastor? I still don't know. Abuse children. She deliberately chooses those stories to provoke her Catholic audience. That is fucking sick, man. And also, if you're a true atheist, I saw someone comment, Katie, and it was just the fucking absolute truth. Like, if you have gone to therapy for all this Catholic trauma that you say you've gone through, why the fuck do you keep rehashing it over and over? Like, obviously the trauma's there. Obviously you never got therapy. You're not using words that you would learn in therapy. In therapy, you learn to talk positive. You don't learn about, you know, to keep rehashing the story over and over because you want the sympathy. That's how you feel love. It's a sick way, but there's women like Katie out there. No doubt, I swear she would have butted up Toad by saying, my ex abused me, I was raped, all this stuff to get sympathy. Like, that's the only way these women feel cared for or feel that someone loves them, by this like protective reaction. And it's sick. And I've seen it a few times in real life, but yeah, to see it, Katie exploiting people, exploiting. No one should question any rape victim, but she's using that as well for her cause. She's so sick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like I'm seeking these stories out. I mean, they're there. They're not.
You know, just look at being. If you're not angry, then I don't see how a person can be aware. You know, there has to be some kind of angry kernel in you if you're going to be aware about what's going on in the world.
Yeah. Well, and I just think that religion uses these men in religion use their veil of faith to act atrocious and commit horrendous crimes in the name of God. And it's always the children and the women that suffer. And I cannot, as a feminist, stand by and be like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Do you get a lot of blowback for self-identifying as a feminist?
You know, yes.
Simple answers are good.
Yes, and I'm a feminist atheist, which just, you know, makes it I'm a feminist atheist, like bleeding heart liberal. I mean, like, I'm like,
yeah, so you're everything that's wrong with America right now.
Yes.
Yeah, join the club.
Yes, you know, I like gay people. I'm like transgenders. I'm like, come on, everyone love each other, bring to light everything, and you know.
Help you install this abortion vending machine, you know.
Correct. You get an abortion and you get an abortion. But yeah, I am the angry feminist with a disabled child that, you know, is a liberal in a red county. That, by the way, I have a rainbow flag on our front house, on like our front pole, just to do a proverbial F you to my neighbors.
Sweet.
Has she spoken about, did I tune out? Has she spoken about Toad yet? I feel like it was at the 10-minute mark and we've gone over it, but oh my God, Katie. So this is what I mean. This whole her flag story has changed over the years. Originally, she just put it out because her neighbors had Trump signs, like during the Trump, like lead up to when he won. So to put that, she put that. It's not, I can't even make sense. The words aren't coming out. She put the rainbow flag out the front just to dig at her Trump supporting neighbors. No mention of being bisexual. No mention, but she's going to tell us that she has family members that are part of the LGBTQ. Still no mention of being bisexual. I know that this was meant to be about her husband. I thought we would reach that point sooner, but, you know, it's Katie.
That, and we have family members in there. We're a big alliance of that community. But yeah.
Are you married?
I am. I'm married to my husband. Jack is friends with him on Facebook, Todd.
Oh, okay.
And he's a heathen.
A heathen.
Yes.
Wow. So how does your husband navigate the whole? Is he like totally on board with the atheist feminist?
Yes. I mean,
yeah, that's good.
So my husband and I, when we first met, he was just like, "Do you go to church? Because if you go to church, I can't like be with you." And then, I at the time wasn't a churchgoer, and then our son got sick, and his mom died, and then we somehow got sucked back into church, and that's another thing I write about. And now we've left that again, and we've re-embraced the atheism that we had lived with before.
Sure.
And he's just, I actually found out about Patheos through him because he like loves the pagan writers.
Oh yeah, sure.
And he has like he makes like Nordic and heathen and just that religion, the
pagan stuff.
The pagan stuff. He makes like the Thor's hammers and the old.
So he's a handy guy. He makes stuff.
Yes, he creates all kinds of stuff. Oh, he's always doing something.
So envious people who work with.
Who else has the gingerbread man with the googly eyes that weren't googly in their head? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I feel like we should just go there. But V brought home something from school and he was meant to do it for art, but Toad took over and got his cricket. I don't think it's cricket. I don't think that's how you pronounce it. Katie spelt it wrong. She spelt it like cricket, but it's spelt like cricket, but without the K. How do you say that? Those machines that you can cut out like fabric, vinyl, and all that. It's for, look, that's not my thing, okay? But it's for all that. And so we wanted googly eyes, and Toad cut out this like black leather looking thing and then a white thing on top. And it's like, dude, get googly eyes off Amazon and stick them on there. This is a kid. You're ripping off his childhood because you're still living in yours that's stunted. Katie's like, look how creative my husband is. And it looks like a piece of shit. I mean, it looks like, his guitar templates. His guitar templates. And if you don't know what I'm talking about and you want to, we can look at his video. I wanted to ages ago. Have we gone down Toad's road? I've got so much on Toad, I think I attempted, like I said, Toad's stool. I'll link that video down below. It's got way more heart than Katie. And I feel like when his mum did pass away, like he went into this really deep depression, and he talks about how he didn't even pick up his guitar for so long. Like there was just that void. There was nowhere for the pain to go, and it just like kept filling up. And if you've ever, if you are creative, or if you know musicians that like deal with grief and death and stuff, like this is true to their nature. This happens. Like I'm obsessed with bands and music. No fucking talent. Like I can only play triangle, but that is a talent in its own, and do not dismiss it as just going ding. No. There's maths and angles involved. Yes. Every line, every different ding along that bottom is, okay, look. I got a professional triangle set. Don't get me started on my triangle, love. Okay, where are we? Okay, Katie, we're coming back to your creative husband. Who remembers that live when she went and got all his woodwork out of the cupboard? She's like, oh, and look, it's all in here. This is all his woodwork. I still got my woodwork from school. And I didn't think I had talent until I saw Toad's talent. Yeah.
For their hands. I'm just not handy at all.
I'm not either.
So does he do like necklace pendants and stuff like that?
Yep.
Good to know.
Yeah, he's got a Facebook page, so I can send it over to you. Yeah, but he was like super excited when he found out I was going to start writing at Patheos, because he's been reading Patheos for a long time.
Cool.
So I didn't know. I didn't really know anything about Patheos until one day I was reading something that he wrote.
Oh yeah. The friendly atheist.
I am oddly kind of continually amazed at how many people I talk to who are in the atheist community who read Patheos blogs and have no idea that there are all the other religious channels on it. Like
I know.
There seems to be all these people who like read all the non-religious stuff and don't even realize there's like a liberal Christian channel and an evangelical channel. And
right. Oh, so one of my friends the other day was like, "Did you know that Patheos was owned by people that are on the right and they're really religious?"
Yeah.
And I was like, I was like, yes, but they sure don't censor me, so I don't care.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I'm like, I'm amazed they let.
God, they don't censor me. I don't care. Whew. And didn't that all come to a drastic halt once Tati started sending cease and desist? And then her Patheos editor had a look at what she's posting, and it was like no sources, no evidence, just absolute slander. It was, yeah, just that was her intro to the world of journalism. Still no sources, but she has learned to say that she has sources now. But yeah, just fucking load of bulldang. The amount of bulldang that she has to pull on her train is a hefty load. Oh, and it stinks. And I'm thinking, should we finish it? It's going so slow. What's at the end? I'm trying to think. What have I got here? Actually, let's talk about the big bit that let's not gloss over it. Let's go back. Thank God for captions. I'm not even picking up my headphones. I'm happy not to hear her voice. I mean, I can still hear it, obviously. And I've gone past where we need to go. What? Oh, because I just started dragging it and I didn't see where we were. Okay, so we're not there. One of my friends, bullshit, you have friends, Bing. Okay, and we're not there. So where are we? Hang on. Was it back here? Fuck.
Yes, I like gay people. I'm like transgender.
Of course.
Now I'm married to my husband.
I love how she's married to her husband. Like, who else would you be married to? Actually, I know where the confusion comes from. The confusion totally comes from sharing your marital bed with your 11-year-old son. Does that confuse your son?
Jack is friends with him on Facebook, Todd.
Oh, okay.
And he's a heathen.
A heathen.
Yes.
Wow. So how does your husband navigate the whole? Is he like totally on board with the atheist feminist?
Yes. I mean,
yeah, that's good.
So my husband and I, when we first met, he was just like, "Do you go to church? Because if you go to church, I can't like be with you." And then, I at the time wasn't a churchgoer, and then our son got sick, and his mom died, and then we somehow got.
How wishy-washy, but also the fact that they were atheists, and then and then all this heavy shit gets packed on with the death of Toad's mum and V leading up to his heart surgery. Why would they return to the church for support if they're atheists? Where's the atheist support group? And it's obvious that they returned for the money that they can get by selling their sob story of their child. They really did amp it up. Like, I'm watching even scammer videos. Just Kendall Ray's video this week was on someone that faked cancer. But there was similar stuff there with the medical, like how Katie jumps from doctor to doctor to get the diagnosis that she wants. If she doesn't get it from one doctor, she'll go to the next one and make sure she gets that diagnosis. And that is fucking what? That's wrong in every way. But then this is a person that, even if she says she wasn't a churchgoer, her whole family is Catholic. So imagine bringing Toad home. Hey, this is my atheist boyfriend. One of his things that he made me sign on the dot was that I can't go to church or have any religious beliefs or have any beliefs of my own in order to date him. That's all right. I've emasculated him now. He no longer has a penis that stands tall. I know, I went there, but God, Katie, it's true. The truth needs to come out when it's right on the tip of the tongue. I can't help it. Okay. And then we somehow got sucked back into the church. No, you chose to return to the church that you had been spewing hate towards for so long since you married Toad, you know, being an atheist. I've never seen an atheist be so fucking hung up on their ex-religion, on Catholics. Get on the train and move on. Because not everyone was raised like you, Katie. Not everyone's Catholic experience was like you. I grew up Catholic, and I don't, like, there's no hate in my heart for the way that my parents raised me. I feel like it was the time. I feel like everyone, like the Catholic Church was just so ingrained into society, at least here in Australia. And that was just life, you know? And then when you get old enough and you can choose what to believe, or, you know, if you believe that or not, but you don't go on a hate train and hate everything and make people go, how can you not see this? Oh my God, you're turning your back on abuse. No, you're the one that says that you went to therapy to overcome the abuse that you experienced in the church. But you're the one that's harping on it. You're 45 years old, using words that aren't words that you would learn at therapy. You are re-traumatizing people because you don't know how to deal with your own lies that you've lied to yourself. And this is your story because, Katie, we see it so clearly. Every story you cover, you have to become part of it 100%. And I, like, you know, one of my earlier images of you, I think back in 2020, was you are exactly like, you know, the liquid Terminator, how he becomes the victims that, you know, he becomes everyone. So like when he's dying in the lava at the end, he switches between every character that he's been to manipulate people in the world. You know, I just think of Edward Furlong's parents and, you know, that. Edward Furlong, guys, oh my God, he was just my biggest crush ever. Okay, we're back to Katie now. Let's just have a look and see what chat is saying. Oh, hey, Susie. Have you been in chat recently? Oh, it's good to see you. Always see you on Twitter anyway. When I go quiet, that means I'm just scrolling because I can't use my mouth and read at the same time. Ah, your grandma, your mom grew up Catholic. Oh, this is SD says. She ended up becoming a Baptist, but the worst memory of her school days was being forced to use her right hand to write. Oh, and the padding, but everyone did that. Yeah, I just think of how hard my parents had it. They were raised by nuns. Obviously, the whole priest nun abuse thing that happened here in Australia, also in the UK and Ireland. I don't really know about, you know, America because obviously that's our 3 generations all mixed together. That's my ancestry, how it all comes together. So the abuse that my parents went through, in order for that to be ingrained in their minds, like I still talk about it, their mind is quite closed off just because of the way that they were raised. And it's a time, she can't understand society's changing ways. Like, yeah, you can look back at that time and see all the red flags now, but at the time you couldn't, because it's just how society shapes you. Like, we are so lucky that we are growing up in a world where we're allowed our minds to be open. Like, my parents still find, I mean, they are accepting of everyone, but they still find it hard to understand, like, that there's multiple genders and everything. It's very hard for them, but I understand and I don't hate them for it. Katie has so much hate, so much anger. And it's pointed at the wrong people. It needs to be pointed at Toad. He made her give up her religious beliefs, basically, in order to score him. Like, yay. Yay. They're just both looking for their self. They're still both looking for their self-identity. Why is religion such a big thing? And I know why Todd reminds me of those try-hard Marilyn Manson fans. And like I said, I grew up metal. I don't know if I said that, but I'm saying it now. Grew up metal, and that's why I saw the whole moribund thing in a completely different light to how everyone else did. And I never spoke up, and I still got the folder of my video sort of put together. I should talk about it because like they don't know what image they're projecting to the world. They're both just so unaware. They're both so stunted in their minds from years of substance abuse. I can't imagine meeting someone and saying, I can't date you if you're into church, like automatically dismissing that. Like, how dare you? Fuck off. I'd rather be single. I would rather be single. Then, it's just a head fuck. And, he is enabling Katie to just continually go on this carousel round and round. No therapy, no help. Just spewing all this trauma, bullshit, lies to gain some kind of sympathy. And it's fucking sick. Oh, yes. How beautiful are old churches, though? Like my mum, because she's got the Irish ancestors, she just loves going to old churches whenever we go to like different places. She's like, oh, I've got to go check out the old church. I find them quite spooky. Like, I don't like the smell of holy water. For some reason, I don't know what it is, and I really do think it has something to do with Lost Boys merch from the 80s. There were some holy water stuff. Anyway, it's probably Buffy related because I love Spike so much. How could I like the smell of holy water? Katie, I might sound nuts, but geez, at least I got personality. Oh, Katie. Oh, it's this one. Oh, you've never been to the west coast of West Australia. Susie, where I live, the city, Wikipedia says, one of the most isolated cities in the world. But that's because we're the closest next capital city is like, we're half the country. We've got like Outback and the best beaches. But yeah, we are the nanny state. If you come here, don't expect, nightlife. No, we're the nanny state. But I prefer that. But yeah, like I had my confirmation. I was thinking about Katie's confirmation. She said that she, well, anyway, what would be her confirmation name? Imagine if it was Teresa, because now she's gone off on Mother Teresa. My mum came to my head. I did a project on Mother Teresa at school. And like, even if like all that is country, I don't want to know. I know as bad as that is. Some things I just don't want to know. But I will end up knowing. But I'll just hold out that little bit longer. When you find out the truth about everyone, how bad is it? Like Kevin Spacey, you can never watch any of his movies again. But yeah, what do you think Katie's confirmation name was? I was thinking of mine today. Because like when you, like confirmation, one of the sacraments, obviously, and you go through it at school. I was in year 7, so I was like 12. And you choose a name, and it's a name of a saint. And then we had to do a project on them. And yeah, I was like Saint Anne. I only chose it because I'm obsessed with Anne of Green Gables, which I found out that fundies are obsessed with that. I'm like, oh my God. I love Anne of Green Gables. But yeah, Anne with an E, that was my confirmation name. And also one syllable. I'm obsessed with one syllable names. Wait, Bill. Let's not bring no two syllables in here. The truth always does come out. And with Katie's narrow-mindedness, you're never going to get the truth because she's so honed in on convincing people that she is a victim in order, like, you don't need to have suffered what people go through in order to help them. Katie does, though. And it's disgusting because, Katie, now we know that really your husband gave you the end game. You can't ride on this ride for one time only. Yeah, unless you drop your beliefs. But the thing is, they've brought this, like, raising their child with faith, taking him away from it, making him believe in dinosaurs instead. And this is a child that's growing up, like, medically unwell. And his mum can't even give him the time of day. She can't even give him Jesus, who for 3 years they used to say goodnight to every night. And now he's just got to say goodnight to his dinosaurs. I'll leave the Without a Crystal Ball versus Religion playlist in the description box. Also, the pinned comment. There'll just be a bunch. Because like I said, I'm not going to cover Katie's recent post. It's not worth it. I've already covered it before. It's the exact same thing. Exact same photo. I don't know what's happening. Maybe she does have neurological issues because, head to my Twitter. Even if you don't have Twitter, I might just share the link. You can still see. I came across something that's really bad about what's happening with Katie's space. And I don't want to give it away. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it out loud because then it is real and I feel sick. And like, she's got worms in her eyes, guys. Worms in her eyes. I'm a hypochondriac. You know what that's done to me? Do you know what that's done to me? Oh my God. I'm fucking like, I'm pulling out, just normal gunk going, is that a worm? Yeah, I'm literally paranoid. But Katie's not doing that. No, she's continuing on with these things. The lava. Is it lava or lave? Lave? Look, I don't know. Okay, I'm a fucking hermit and I don't say words out loud until now. Oi, Cactus Crew, thanks so much for rocking up in chat. I'm not going to keep you guys any longer. Let's finish this on another live. Let me know, like, comment below if you want to finish it and we'll do it. But yeah, I'm hot and there's fires and I can't breathe because I can't, they're like, no aircon. So I can't put my aircon on because there's so much smoke outside and there's helicopters flying overhead, delivering water with their big things because there's a lake right there. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I cannot believe that everything is on fire already. We're not even in like proper summer yet. But yeah, I wish it was winter. I wish it was winter. I just really want snow. Yeah, so just imagine me somewhere. Thanks, guys. I'm just blabbering on, really. Thankful for you rocking up, and maybe I brought some perspective to Katie's bulldang. Yeah, all the videos that I've done before, links and everything. Make sure you check them out. Yeah, and I'll catch you. I'll get this video out that I'm working on, okay? Hopefully tomorrow or Wednesday, but I'll catch you, well, whenever I do. Take care, guys, and give this video a like, Consider subscribing. Cactus high five. Thanks, guys.